Hello everybody, this is Wolfang here. It is Sunday the 29th in a hot afternoon. So I'm going to talk about martial law. Everybody pretty much knows what happens when martial law hits. All your rights go out the window. We know that much, and there's quite a few videos out there about martial law. Like I said, I try to find a different spin on being prepared. So I went to a few different resources, and once again, AskAPrepper.com had a good one on martial law. And it's called 6 Golden Rules of Surviving Martial Law. So a little history note. Back in April 1861, Baltimore, Maryland had martial law declared on them. A riot broke out, destruction of transportation. So martial law was called on them. You can Google that, look it up. But anyway, let's get started with this. Whether you're a prepper or not a prepper, there are 6 golden rules to follow if martial law comes to your town. What the hell? Anyway, first and foremost, talk with no one and trust no one. Although most of us preppers kind of stick together in a group. I already have a group set up. Yeah, I'm reading off my notes. Just remember who you can trust and who you can't trust. In my opinion, I don't trust too many people. We as people have to remember that under martial law, everything you own could or will become property of the government. So in saying that, do not tell everybody what you have. If you can, stash supplies, hide supplies. Do that if you can. But just be careful to who you speak to, like I said. Hang on a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully this worked. So, like I was saying, any of your preps, I know if you belong with a group, or just be careful who you talk to, what you share. So that's number 1. Number 2, renew your supplies the best way you can. And there is a basic martial law survival kit, which could include quite a few things in it, but it depends on if you're bugging in or you're bugging out. and you might not be able to bug out when martial law hits. So it would be good to have a generator, your water filters, weapons, of course. And I know there's some people out there that they're just against guns. If you're one of those people, have a baseball bat, have a machete, have something to defend yourself. At least 6 months food supply. If you look up, back in the day, FEMA at one time I think said 2 weeks, and then they upped it to 3 months. But if you can do it, do 6 months. Have first aid kits, have flashlights, have batteries. Radio, whether you have ham radio or just a regular handheld radio, crank radio. I think I got one over here. Yeah, just your basic crank radio. Yeah, I like this one because it's got the solar panel on it, and then you crank it. That way you can stay informed on what's going on. Those are just a few things to think about, and that's if you're bugging in, because you need to have some type of communication, even if you can go out and maybe talk to a few neighbors during the daytime, and get information that way, if you get along with your neighbors. Number 3, stay away from law enforcement and military, if at all possible. No contact with them. Because your actions during martial law will be justified under martial law. So you have to remember to keep a cool head, because if you get violent, you kill somebody, just because there's no rules going on out there, you will be policed. And when after martial law has been lifted, you will be accountable for your actions. So be very careful. Think before you react. Bugging in or bugging out are your 2 options during martial law. And choosing one of the 2 is going to be a really hard decision. It's going to be a tough one for people. Number 4 is staying updated, as I just mentioned with the radio. You want to use trusted sources. Martial law hits, media outlets along with internet and other over-the-air communications, they're all going to be controlled by the government, like they kind of are now. Well, not really controlled, but because right now the media just says whatever the hell they want to say. Get your info. We may only get info. We may only get info from the federal government, and they're only going to tell us what they feel they should, kind of like they do now. So like I said, if you've got a radio, a ham radio, if you have trusted neighbors, word of mouth, hey, Jim, did you hear anything last night? We heard there was some commotion going on. Stay informed with the people that you trust. And share the information that you know with the ones you trust. Number 5, if you can, start a survival network now. And I'm not talking network on your computer, your internet. I'm talking a network of people. Just remember, we never know how long martial law is going to last. I mean, if martial law is called, something bad's gone down. How long martial law is going to last, nobody knows. During martial law, keep a low profile. As low as you possibly can. And last but not least, number 6, and I say this all the time, know your surroundings. Visualize your home, the area where you live. Start learning it like the back of your hand. Know what streets you can use and what, because streets are going to be barricaded. There'll be checkpoints all over, especially if you live in a highly populated area. If you live in the city, not so much out on farmland. But where the mass people are going to be, that's where most of the control is going to go on. All these are together. You know, watch who you talk to. Don't share all the information that you know, or don't share all the supplies you have. If you trust somebody and you trust them well enough, you can say, hey, look, you know, I can help. If something goes down, I can help you out. You know where I live. You know, come my way. We can help each other. So these are just these are the 6 golden rules of surviving martial law. Because like I said in the beginning, everybody pretty much knows what martial law means. The Constitution goes right out the window. You have no rights. So let's hope and pray that martial law never comes to my town or your town. So keep keep that in mind. And if anything, look it up. Look it up yourself and learn some about the martial law. Because I sure in the hell don't want them knocking down my door. So anyway, you guys have a good Sunday. This is Wolfang, and I will talk to you guys next weekend. Bye for now.